print, welcome to the fruit stand, and then a little blank line in there, and then I say str menu equals input. Well, before that, I think I'm going to just make this easy on myself. So let's do it this way. 1, list fruit. 2, add a fruit. 3, remove fruit. Okay, so now we'll ask what they want to do. Input, choose a number. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put this in a loop right now. So we'll just put them in a forever loop while true. Okay. So next, I just have branch based on the number they choose. So if str menu equals 1, I'm just going to fill this in with passes right now so I don't have errors. Elif str menu equals 2. I'll come back and replace these passes in just a minute. Elif str menu equals 3. Pass. And then else, we're going to say print that wasn't an option. And then let's print some blank lines here in between just to make it clear that we ended that transaction. Okay, so now all I have to do really quickly here is just put my functions in, right? So list fruit, dfruit. What am I going to do for number 2? I'm going to add fruit, dfruit. And then for this one, it's going to be remove fruit, dfruit. Now, I'm almost done, but remember, remove fruit, I forgot something. What did I forget? I forgot to return the new model after we remove the fruit. So I'm going to return the data. So that one is going to return something. And let's make sure we did that on add fruit up here. So we're returning D data. So on the add fruit and remove fruit, since I'm modifying the data model, I need to use self-assignment. I need to put it back, put the new and improved fruit database back into my variable so that it works for next time. So we're going to say D fruit equals add fruit, and we're going to say D fruit equals remove fruit. So now that when those functions modify that data, it's going to put the new and modified data back into that. But look, this is like my whole main part of my program. So now the menu choices is kind of its own thing. And then the functionality of each of those pieces is separate. It's in its own function. And if I have data or if I have errors or issues or problems, it's really easy for me to go back to those functions and see what's going on. So let's run this and check it out. So here's my fruit stand. Let's list the fruit. Okay, so there are my fruit. I, of course, could do some UI work to make this a little bit better, but let's add a fruit to my fruit stand. What's the fruit ID? FR3, fruit name, grapes, price, 129, and how many are there? 50. Okay, so let's list the fruit again and see. So there's my new fruit database. Okay, so I want to remove a fruit. Let's remove a fruit and let's remove oranges. FR2. Oranges was removed. Now if I list the fruit, okay, so there is an example, a functional example of how you will put together the employee database. Now, hopefully you see that there's a pretty direct correlation here with the employee ID, with the different fields that go in there, with the things that you're asking for. I do want you to do some work to make sure that the users are putting in good data. So that would go in the add fruit function, maybe the add employee function. If you're putting a salary, let's make sure it's a valid float, that sort of thing. And so that is basically the employee database. Now, of course, you could do much better than I did with formatting things, with making it look nice, with having it be a useful interaction for the user, that sort of thing. But this is really what we're looking for. And so if you go to if you go to Canvas, and you look here in this, you will see that I have very conveniently uploaded for you a copy of the fruit stand demo so that you can take a look at that as you're developing the employee database, and you can use that to help you remember how things are structured. Okay? So, and that's one that I previously did, so it may not be exactly word for word what I have shown you in class today, but it should be close enough that it's kind of the same thing. So if you have any questions, let me know. You got a little bit of work time today, probably about 30 minutes. So I highly recommend at least getting in there and playing around with that code so you can get a feel for where you're going to have trouble or where you're going to have questions.